Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another session of your favorite talk show, Richie's Talk Zone. I really appreciate you guys for hanging in there, always turning up, always being there. You know, you're my tribe. I wish you guys happy Christmas in advance. We are in the Yuletide season, and even though it might not be Christmas in your area or where you find yourself, please just believe that it's going to get better. We still have some days to Christmas, and Christmas is a time for giving, for for having a joyous moment, for interacting, for lending helping hands to people. It's not only you in your own corner enjoying yourself and enjoying the holidays experience. You should try and reach out to your neighbors, reach out to people around you, and just help in your own little way. So today, as we said, we're going to be discussing about communication in relationships. It's a very important topic that we need to discuss because I've come to realize that this particular aspect of communication in relationship is really making some relationships not make headway. Yes, both parties have to communicate effectively. That's the male and female are skeptical when it comes to expressing. We have instances where the guy is afraid to talk because he feels he's going to be judged. The female is also afraid to also speak up because she doesn't want to offend the guy. But when it comes to relationship, you are supposed to actually table whatever you need to table, whether you are dating, whether you are you're married already, or you are a newlywed. Communication is very key. Communication is very essential in relationship. It's the cornerstone of understanding and connection. And when there's communication in your relationship, it fosters trust, it builds intimacy, and it helps both of the partners grow together. So without it, there will be a whole lot of misunderstandings, and distance can easily creep in. So now we need to address something. Many of us can relate to it. So why do men and women hesitate in expressing certain thoughts in relationship? We have a real life scenario. For example, now we have somebody called John. John worries about sharing his vulnerabilities because men, we are really tough. Yeah, we don't want to show that part of our weaker side. So John is afraid of sharing his vulnerabilities to his better half because he fears he might appear weak. Then we have Sarah on the other hand. She might hesitate to ask for what she needs because she fears it will disrupt the harmony that they are having in the relationship. But once you have fear in your relationship, that relationship, I tell you, is not going to last. Once there's fear, once you are afraid to actually speak to your better half, you're afraid to speak to your spouse, I don't think that's a relationship. It's like you guys are just, let's say, you guys are just being, yeah, you are just acquainted. Because if you actually feel you have a future, or there's a future between you and your spouse, you should be able to trash some certain things in your relationship. And that's what makes most relationship end abruptly because they keep on stalling, they keep on dancing around some crucial things that they need to discuss in their relationship, and eventually those things that they are trying to avoid or they are dancing around eventually comes back to bite them. So the repercussion of not communicating in your relationship can be very detrimental. So I'm going to be opening the floor for people to actually share their own experiences, what they think causes this fear that most people have. I just painted a scenario here whereby one person is afraid to share some things. The female is afraid to share what she needs because she's afraid it's going to cause an argument. The guy is also afraid to express some certain things, some of his vulnerabilities, because he fears he's going to appear weak. So I'm just going to open the floor now for everyone to give their own take on this issue of communication in a relationship and what they feel causes this kind of fear, the fear of the unknown, and what they think in their own way, what you think in your own way that can be used to manage and actually help build a healthy communication lifestyle in your relationship. So I'll be opening the floor now for anyone that wants to go first. Let's talk deep into this and let's make headway and see what we can be able to learn this evening. So I'll be starting from Sheung. Sheung, are you ready for us? So let's hear your take about communication in relationships. If you're ready, Sheung.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Okay, based on my own experience so far, just like as you've said, communication is very, very, very important in relationship. Even if it is not a love relationship, in whatever relationship that we find ourselves, work relationship, personal relationship, social relationship, it really reduces a friction. Because and the way we also communicate to matters. As much as we say, okay, communication is very important, you must also be conscious of how the other party too is receiving what you're saying, because you may mean something else and the other party is seeing it as another thing. So I think that's what they call emotional intelligence. You have to be very conscious and you have to be very sensitive as to how you relay your message and be conscious of how the other party is receiving it, because you might just be okay, maybe you want to communicate something to a second party, maybe you want to resolve a conflict and all of that, and the other party is not seeing it that way, or maybe the tone at which you are relaying that message to that person is in another way entirely. So even as much as we even try to communicate, we should not try to also escalate issues to or blow issues beyond proportion, because if we are not careful, even this communication we are talking about can also lead to something else. So it's for us to be sensitive, it's for us to be emotionally intelligent, so that when we are passing across our message either to our bosses, our friends, our loved ones, we're able to pass it across in a very good way that will ensure harmony. Yes. So I think that's one part too. Then in a love relationship, communication is very, 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 very important. I've come to understand that when you're in a relationship with somebody, always try to. Are we not talking about love here? Before I jump
Yeah,
the
we are.
gun.
We are. We're talking about
Okay.
love majorly.
All right. So it's very good. Yeah, even if you are vulnerable, I'm very sure that I'm coming. Yay! Jesus Christ. Okay. Sorry, if you
Yeah,
pause on
yeah.
sorry, let me just finish what I want to say. In a love relationship, we have to be vulnerable to each other sincerely, because I don't want to expect that maybe if you are not vulnerable to yourself, how do you want to even really express yourself? I believe vulnerability is also very essential in a relationship. No minding that if I'm vulnerable to this person, hope this person will not take advantage of me. In a very true relationship where love and trust exists, I believe vulnerability cannot be the place of vulnerability cannot be overestimated for me, because one should learn to talk about anything and everything. I will slap your face. What you don't do. One should learn to talk about anything. Please, I'm very sorry. One should learn to
No
talk
problem.
about anything and everything. Like when I mean anything and everything, the very unreasonable thing. Because even in our walk with God too, I was reading a book one time, and that book was trying to say something like, God is so much concerned with every areas of my life that even if I have a pimple on my face and I don't want that pimple again, I can talk to God and tell God that, God, I don't want this pimple. People can be so immaterial to your growth, but if you are very conscious of the way you look, people can you can feel that, this pimple, if I leave it, it can become 10, it can become, and before you know it, that's spoiled the whole of my face and all of that. So as much as we are also in a love relationship too, we should try and talk about anything and everything. It's very, very important, because lack of communication, before you know it, the both of you will just be on your own, and before you know it, you'll just see that the both of you are just miles apart, and maybe you have so many things. Okay, you didn't talk today, you didn't talk tomorrow, you didn't talk next tomorrow. Before you know it, you'll not even see any essence of even saying anything again, because you've not even been communicating from time. So communication is very, very important, and being vulnerable is actually a good thing in a relationship, as much as love and trust is involved. Thank you very much.
Thank
Go.
you. Thank you so much, Sharon. So before you go, I just wanted to ask from your own point, like from the female point, has there been any time, I believe you've had a relationship before, you're currently in a relationship. So has there been any time that you've been hesitant to ask a particular thing? I want to hear from you. And I want to get that I want to feel your pulse as to why you were hesitant based on that particular thing you wanted to speak about. I just want to hear from you experience you've had where you were hesitant to say something that it was really a bother to you, but you were just looking at it that should I or should I not?
I okay, in my present relationship, I can't really remember anything of such, but if there's really anything I used to think about, like maybe telling him, like if there's anything at all, maybe because I know that sometimes our phone, guys, now even we ladies at times, so we pick up our phones to check, well, not every time anyway, but to just try to just check anything on the phone and all of that. So sometimes, because I know that my guy will always check my phone once in a while. And okay, I think I remember there was a time that I want to send money to somebody. And I know that, okay, I think I wanted to send about, okay, we agreed to send 10,000 naira. So me, and I added 5,000 naira to the money. And I sent 15,000. I didn't tell him. But the point that I sent that money, I wanted to tell him that it's 15,000 that I sent to these people. I was like, if I tell this guy that this guy is going to be angry and all of that, I should not worry, I should not bother. And on the long run, he knew. How he knew, I really do not know, because I'm sure that maybe I deleted the alerts on my phone. I can't, or maybe one time I've gone to Jabo for him.
Yeah.
So I can't really remember such instance, but most of those instances, aside this one that I just talked about, is maybe when a guy is disturbing me, or when a guy is calling me too much. I don't want him to know, or which I know that he's still going to know. I will not be like, should I tell him? Should I tell him that this guy, so that we will not be together now, and my
Person
phone will just
know, yeah, and you'll be
my phone
avoiding the
will just go
call.
and ring, and he will now ask me that why is this person calling me? So most times I will just kukuma tell him that, okay, this person called me yesterday, this person did that, so that when the person is calling, we will not be like, why is this person always calling you? So that to not create any form of suspicion and all of that. So I think that's the only instance guys disturbing, but any other thing, I see everything how it is.
Oh, thank you very, very much for those points that you mentioned. So let's hear from another person. Let's hear from Helen. Helen, let's hear from you. Your own experience or your own take about the whole dilemma when it comes to communicating effectively in relationships. Are you ready, Helen? Okay, thank you. Helen, are you there? You're muted, boy. We can't hear you. Can anyone hear me? Are you with me, guys? If you can hear me, just say something so I know you can hear me. Guys, are we here? Royal White.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, Nana. Are you ready for us? Can you talk? Can you speak? Can you say something about this?
Partly, I'll come back. So let's come back.
What did you say?
I let someone take it right now. I'll continue.
Okay. So Royal White, are you ready for us? What can you say about communication? Can you say something about communication in a relationship? Royal White. Is anyone there?
We can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. I think some people are just connected. Network is really affecting. So the whole thing about communication and in relationship, it's like as I said, it's a current dilemma in some existing relationship currently because the couples are not in sync when it comes to relating some things to themselves. Shehu made a point about emotional intelligence. Yeah, I personally feel there's a place for emotional intelligence. That is to when you want to disclose an information or say something to your better half, you should be able to read the room and know, okay, this is the best time I'm supposed to speak, or this is not the best time I'm supposed to speak. But it shouldn't stop the fact that you still must talk about that thing. Because if you are saying you want to be rolling around having an ideal time to discuss, you won't have that time. So you need to sometimes push it, you need to force it and actually have that talk, because it's better said immediately than leaving it till when it gets sour. Some people don't actually, like Sean said, maybe you have people trying to woo you and the rest. Some ladies don't actually bother themselves to tell their guy that, okay, I'm having some people that are wooing me, blah blah blah. It's not as if some guys really care about it, whether it's a bother to them, because that's where the place of trust also comes in. You are a lady, normally guys will actually make advances towards you. The same applies to guys as well. You have guys that have ladies making advances to them too. So, but I feel when it gets to a point, you should be able to sit down, because there are some repercussions that might happen that will tend to affect your relationship. Like Asheun said, you might be there and the call comes in and you'll be struggling, you'll be fidgeting, you won't want to pick the call in the presence of your guy or presence of your babe. Then the person start getting suspicious, and that's when when the trust in you, the person start doubting the trust that he or she has for you. But when you lay everything on the table, you actually say it, okay, make it known that, yeah, this is what is happening. The person is in the know, and there's no big deal there. He or she will take it cool whenever such a person maybe calls you or says everything to you. But you guys will actually even have a discussion towards how to manage that disturbance or that distraction. Also, when it comes to the part of education or career or whatnot, especially the ladies, when they want to have some kind of advancement in their education or their career path, some ladies are really really skeptical when it comes to making it known to their spouse or making it known to their guy like this. They'll be like, they feel maybe when they say it, it's kind of intimidating to the guy. But it's not. You should actually say it. It's better you say it than rather doing it behind his back and he gets to know about it and will be like, oh, we didn't have this talk, or we didn't talk about this thing, so why are you doing this? Because it's going to definitely affect some certain things. You guys need to be aligned. So if you make it known to the guy, he makes the arrangement that okay, he knows this is what, and he can even support you, encourage you. Because sometimes when you are doing it alone without encouragement from your better half, it's as if there's a big break that is laid on you, a big burden that is laid on you. But if you share with your better half, you share with your spouse, yeah, there's encouragement there. Once you are trying to maybe slack, or you are not feeling the push any longer, he or she can actually back you up and help you to be able to make the best or get the most out of what you are looking to achieve. When it comes to the aspect of finance as well, we need to be able to discuss to the minutest thing. Even how you guys save, how you spend, is something you guys need to talk about. Because if you are on your own, the woman is on her own, planning her own life, doing her own savings. The man too is on his own, doing his own savings, and he's not even carrying the lady along. The lady is not carrying the man along. I feel there's going to be confusion subsequently in the relationship, because you guys are not on the same page. You don't, as a lady or as a guy, you should actually know the financial capacity of your spouse. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's my own opinion. I feel you should be able to know, like to an extent, to a large extent, you should be able to know, okay, this is what my babe, this is where she stands. The lady too is supposed to know, okay, this is where my guy stands when it comes to some certain things, when it comes to this part of finance. So you guys can even you can collaborate, you can make some good financial decisions, because whether you like it or not, you guys are going to plan for the future. If you guys are not married yet, you guys are going to plan how to get married, from your traditional wedding to your white wedding to your court to everything. So you guys need to be able to know your financial capabilities. When you guys are in sync when it comes to finance, you can be able to correct some things that are not supposed to be. Because most relationship I think it's the ladies that are actually good when it comes to finance. They help, they guide the man, they steer the man, because you have money coming in and the rest. And as a guy, you might not actually have that propensity to be able to save very well, because I have that weakness when it comes to savings and doing all those kind of things. But your better half will definitely, women have that natural gift. They will help you how to organize. I'm not saying all women, because I know there are some women there that actually don't even know how to save themselves. But majority of women out there actually good when it comes to finance. So when you talk about that aspect of your life, aspect of your relationship with your better half, you guys can come into agreement, help yourself, strategize. If there's a milestone you guys want to achieve that has monetary needs, you guys can be able to actually map out what you are supposed to do to be able to achieve that milestone. And also in your relationship, there are expectations, because you are from different backgrounds, you are from different homes, you were brought up differently, and there are some things, how you express your love language is different from how the other person expresses his or her love language. So when you guys communicate, you should be able to tell the next person that, okay, this is what I expect from the relationship. And when you're not getting that, you should be bold enough to speak up and say, babe or guy, this is not what I actually expected. This is what I expect, this and this. It's not as if you are commanding it. You are actually putting it on the table. So you guys can be able to discuss it and can make necessary compromises that you need to make. So I think Helen was here. Okay. I think she's left. She'll be back again. I think she's having network difficulties. So yes, relationship expectations. You guys need to be able to actually talk about those things, so you guys are not confused or the relationship start getting cold, because there's a point where the relationship is really hot. You guys are enjoying it. It gets to a point where it start getting cold, and when it start getting cold, it's because you guys have not actually communicated right some certain things that you expect, because everybody has an expectancy when it comes to relationship, how you want the relationship to be, the spice that you want to put in your relationship needs to be discussed, because if you don't discuss it, it will come up strange to your better half. You'll be like, why is this person giving me this energy? Oh, I'm not in the mood for all these kind of things. But when you discuss it, that person needs, if that person is not that kind of person, he or she will definitely learn how, so that the both of you will meet at a point. So I've done enough talking here. Let me allow someone to talk again. Who is ready for us? Who is ready to welcome Uche to this session? Join in there. How are you doing? How was your day? How was your week, Uche? Okay, so let's have someone also speak on this. Nana, if you are ready for us, you can speak. Royal White, Tosin. I think Ellen is having issues with her network. So Royal White, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from the married people here, how they are able to manage that aspect of communication in their relationship. Juliet, Royal White, let's hear from you. Let's learn. Let's tap from your source. Let's learn something from you. Royal White, are you there? Juliet, are you there? Let's hear from you guys. Let's hear from you guys quickly. So I have some questions that I would like to ask all of us as well, so we can contribute right to this. Royal White, Juliet, are you there? Let's make it snappy. Let's
Yeah, I'm
make it
here.
quick. Yeah, so Royal White, let's hear from you. So I wanted to hear from the married ones, the experienced ones. I believe you're experienced when it comes to that aspect. So let's learn from you how you're able to manage that aspect of communication, and some difficulties you had in the initial stage of your relationship and how you're able to manage it. So let's hear from you.
Well, for me, let's say communication is really, really important. So I don't joke with that aspect. I don't joke with that aspect at all, because sometimes, we are built differently. We have people that are introverts and we have people that are extroverts. But the fact remains that you have to know the kind of person you are dealing with in a relationship. No matter where the person falls into, either you are an extrovert or introvert, you have to blend along and make that communication work, because that is how you will know where your partner falls. Either if something is wrong and the person is not willing to talk. From the mood, from what you see, you can actually tell if something is wrong somewhere and the person is not willing to talk. But you have to find a way to understand the person you are dealing with. That's when communication is really, really important. For me now, as an example, when I notice a lot of things with my wife, I will keep it to myself for some time. I will take time to study and be sure that, okay, I think something is wrong. Then I will call out to her attention. I will say this and this and this and this is going on. And I've been watching for some days, because if I don't give it time, I might not be sure of what I wanted to say. So I'll give it some time. So when I'm sure, I'll call out to her attention. I'll say this and this and this is happening and I don't like it. And she will also say her own point of view. You understand? So we do that time to time. We reevaluate ourselves. We talk about a lot of things. You understand? We talk about a lot of things. We reevaluate, and there are some things that sometimes I might not even notice that I'm falling apart. She'll call me to order. Sometimes I'll be like, wow. Even my spending habits, sometimes she gives me caution and she gives me clue on how to manage my funds, and sometimes and it really helps me a lot. And I'll be like, wow, if it is just me, probably I might be spending outrageously. You understand?
Exactly. Yeah.
But because I have somebody I can still talk to, that understands me, that knows my finance. So she's more like a manager, you know. So the
Yeah.
same also goes to me as well, because there are so many times that she does a lot of things that she has to rely on to be a better person in that.
Yeah.
So we do a lot more of communication, so that there will be no grudges whatsoever. So, irrespective of issues that we have one way or the other, we find a way around it to talk about it and let it go. Because definitely we still have more to come around. Definitely. So, irrespective of whatsoever that we might have been through, issues here and there, we find time to talk over it and we close that chapter and we move on. So,
Right.
that about communication with me and my
Yes,
woman.
pal. Yeah, wonderful. That's very lovely. So I'll just like to ask you again so that we can learn. I said you are the experience. You are the one of the experienced
Uh,
people. We give you that regard for that experience that you have. So we need to tap from your source and learn as we are aspiring. We are coming up to
okay.
actually be in the same level with you. So what's your go-to strategy when it comes to initiating a very difficult conversation? Like you want to discuss something with her, but you yourself you've analyzed the thing and you were like, this thing is a very, very, very tough conversation. It's a very tough conversation, but it's a conversation that you guys need to have. So what strategy do you use? Because I believe there are various strategies that you use that you arrive at your destination. So what are some of the strategies you use when it comes to discussing very difficult conversations with your spouse?
Like I said earlier, when you are dealing with someone, either you are an introvert or extrovert, you have to understand the type of person you are dealing with. For me now, I take time to study the mood that my wife is, to introduce any kind of conversation to her. That sometimes I will sense it that she's not in the best mood, so I'll better not talk about it. You know, I'll
Yeah,
better not talk about it. Yeah, so I will find the best mood where she's a bit happy or she's in a very good mood. Then I will take that as an opportunity to eat it up. And sometimes maybe I have to be somewhere and I still have some little time to spend at home with her, and maybe she already asked me for something or she wants to go to the market to get something and stuff like that. I will
yeah,
send the money and I will just add something up. I said, babe, I added this to it. Just use it for anything. That alone will light up her mood. It will light up her mood that even if I want to say something or I want to request something from her at that moment, she'll be ready to
yeah,
listen. She'll be ready to listen
yes,
because I've already lighted up the mood already.
yes. You've
So
used humor to lighten the whole atmosphere.
exactly.
So she be
And
ready to listen.
another thing is, if you are not a comedian, right, or you are not jovial, or you are not friendly, you have to find a way to be an actor in that level to your spouse. You have to be a comedian, you have to be lively, you have to be an actor, so that the home will be lovely. You don't just have to be an husband and wife that everything will just be bored, or like the 1970 parents. You have to make it lively. You understand what I mean now? Like
Yeah,
everything does not have to be strictly street. You understand? There has to be time that you have to be lively, like jolly friends. That is how you can be friends. Not just to make
mm,
it strict like you are those olden days parents. So if you are dating or you are married, I think the best way to allow it flow, why you can also have conversations that you think is deep and you don't have a way around it, is to be friends with your spouse or whatsoever. Let that person be your best friend. If you relate to each other as best friends, then I don't think there is any issue or something you want to discuss that you will not find comfortable to discuss with each other, or you will not find a suitable mood to discuss
yeah,
it with her. So you have to see that person as your best friend. Now let's take it this way. Now, if you feel that person is your best friend, or the way you relate with your best friend, then it will be easy for you to penetrate each other. When you see such
mm-hmm,
person as your best friend, it will be very easy to
exactly.
penetrate. So I think for me now, my wife is my best friend, and I'm very sure for her too. I'm my best friend. So,
No two ways
that is
about
it.
it.
So we are just best friends. So
Oh,
that's why it
oh,
works. It works that way.
Sorry, I'm just
oh.
coming in, but can I say something regarding what Royal White said? Because I'm just coming in now.
Sure,
Can I go ahead?
sure, go ahead, bro.
All right, good evening, all. So,
Good evening.
the question you asked was what go-to strategy to strike up a conversation between you and your spouse, right?
Yeah,
All right, to me personally, I don't feel there is a need for any strategy to want to speak to your spouse. What's the need of a strategy? Why are you guys even spousing if there's any word like that you wouldn't have this confidence in speaking or striking a conversation with your so-called spouse? There's nothing like strategy to me. If the thing is stopping me, I'll call her, babe, I want to have a discussion with you. What? At that point, let her know that you want to have a discussion with her. So me, I don't feel there's any strategy or whatsoever. You don't need it. Or me, I don't need it, so to say. So that was I
yeah.
wanted to
See,
chip
so
in.
what I actually meant by strategy, what you just said now, you've also mentioned a kind of strategy. Yours is a yours is a planned and structured approach. Like you have a disturbance, you have something that you want to discuss, you just go straight to it. You plan that okay, we need to talk about it. You've already structured it out how you are going to discuss with your spouse. So that is a strategy of its own. Another strategy that some people might use, like as Royal White said, they use humor. For example, now if you want to talk to your babe about a very serious matter, it's a very important matter, but it's also a dicey one that it might also bring about some kind of argument or some things like that. Some people actually pass through the route of humor. When I go just dey like say maybe when I your babe dey cook, you go just go meet am for kitchen. When I go just dey you go just dey assist am based on some kind things wey she dey do. Before you know it, you just crack a joke here and there. You guys laugh about it. And so in that process of laughing, that is when you just pass that message across. You just be like, oh babe, you be like, get what I want even tell you say for blah 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 blah, and you said it. That's that point that you said it. It's he's already in a relaxed state, or he's already in a relaxed state. If it's concerning the ladies, he's already in a relaxed state. So you are able to pass across that message in a calm manner and in a calm setting. Everybody is different. Some people are straight to the point. Some people they try and find a way out. In other parts of the world, I don't know about Nigeria, it's not rampant. In other part of the world, both spouse, if a man has something to tell his wife and it's very difficult and he doesn't want to pass through that stress of discussing or saying it directly to the wife, they seek professional help. They seek professional guidance. You see them going to meet their therapist. The man will sit down, the woman will sit down, the therapist will be in front of them. So, Mr. A, what happened? What is this? What is that? Mrs. B, what happened? What is this? What is that? And that's another way of going around it. So the couples don't want to even stress themselves out. So everything that they want to do, they are going to do it in front of that professional. If they are going to vent, they vent there. They say whatever they need to say. And that professional, being a professional that he or she is able to manage the situation. And you find the two of them hugging. Hello guys, sorry, I think I had some network issues. Sorry for the network interruption. Are we all here? Kindly respond if you can hear me. I think I had some network difficulties, so I'm back now. Sorry about that. If you can hear me, kindly respond.
Okay, no problem. We can hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that. So these network providers can be really crazy sometimes. So I think I was at the point where I was talking about the couples actually meeting a professional to have that discussion, because those are various strategies. So either you make use of humor, you actually plan and structure your discussion, or you seek the help of a professional. Some people, I don't know about Africa, but in other parts of the world, it's very rampant. They seek the help of therapists and what have you, and counselors. Yes. So, Nana, are you ready for us, please? Still, let's hear from you
Yes,
quickly.
Richie. Yes.
Yeah.
You have to give me some small
Good.
time to, put across what I want to say regarding relationship, communicating
So,
relationship. Sorry.
so I should come back again.
No. Let me just take it, and then
Okay, go ahead, bro. Floor is yours.
yeah. See, communication in relationship is vast. It's very big. It is big, and there's a lot that goes into communication. And then if you have few time, let me just explain. Though we have an idea of what communication is, but for me, I would say that communication involves the exchange of thoughts, feelings, and information between partners, whether you are married or not. These three things play a major key in forming communication. That is the exchange of thoughts, feeling, and information between partners. Now,
Yeah.
having said this, if we promote this communication, yourself and my brothers and sisters on the page have also, elucidate the importance of communication. But then I'll add that if we have effective communication, it helps us to resolve conflicts. It also helps to maintain healthy connection between partners. But then, with this, there are aspects of the communication that we need to deal with. Yourself and some of our panelists or some of our colleagues have explained some of them, but I have about 2 or 3 aspects that I want to explain for us all to understand. The first aspect that we need to deal with, in terms of communication in relationship is 1, openness and honesty. Openness and honesty is a communication aspect that explains how we should be honest about our feelings and thoughts, and then also encourage our partners to do same. For example, the first speaker that says, I'm not able to pronounce the Nigerian
right.
name properly.
That's right.
Just forgive me and teach me that. Sheung made a perfect declaration, or he gave a perfect example that when she goes out and then she meets a guy, and the guy takes her contact and bother her and all that. Though Sheung may not be interested in the guy, but the guy will pester her for attention and all that. With this particular one, you don't have to wait for the guy to be calling you all the time, or for your guy to see it and then ask about it before you explain or talk to your guy about it. No, the moment you get to the house, oh baby, I met this guy, he was crazy about me. I intended not to give him my contact, but he pressured me. But for me to leave him and then be able to leave the premise, I just had to give him my number and all that. Just tell your man. Don't wait for your man to see, or don't wait for the thing to escalate before you explain to your man. So be honest about it. Don't leave any detail in there. That's about honesty. And then one of our friends also mentioned that if your partner is, example, taking classes or school or something, be honest about it and tell your partner. Don't feel that your partner will be intimidated or not. Just tell your partner and all that. I think those are some of the perfect examples my friends also gave on there. And then also the next aspect I'll talk about is active listening. active listening. It plays a major role in communicating in our relationship. So your man came back from work, and then a lot of things happened. There could be about 3 or 4 people that he can communicate this thing to, but he chose to tell you. As he is telling you, irrespective of how trivial it is, irrespective of how nonsensical it is, just listen, pay attention, let him know or let her know that you are listening, and give constant remarks like hey, oh, like those petty remarks and all that. That makes him feel like, okay, yeah, you are listening, though it might not make sense to you, but yeah, paying constant attention will make your partner calm down and feel relaxed and tell you more things that he is not supposed or she is not supposed to tell you. She or she can tell you in there. You see, so that is an aspect that I also want to put across. The next one I'll talk about is also clarity. Clarity. What is clarity? Be clear in what you are saying to your partner. Don't use proverbs. Don't use adjectives that your partner may not understand. If you want A, tell him, baby, I want A. I want to go and spend some days with my mom. Don't. I don't have to put it back. Don't mask the whole thing. Maybe today I would like to have sex with you. Probably might be too plain, but if you want to, clothe it in a certain way, let it be clear for a partner to understand.
Yeah.
And then be specific as to what you want. Maybe can you give me 2,500 cedis to do my hair? That's an example I'm citing.
Yeah.
Don't go and tell him, baby, can you give me some money to do my hair? Don't go for a partner to ask you, how much do you need? No, then you tell him, oh, any amount that you give me. Know very well that 2,005 naira or 2,005 naira is what you need for what you are going to do.
Exactly.
Yes, so your baby will not know, and he will just send maybe 5,000, or he just send you maybe 1,000. You'll be unhappy. For him or her, she would think or he would think that, okay, they are sending you something because you said that word, send me something. So if you need something, be clear, be direct, be specific, be direct. In the same way, if you have issues and you are resolving, if you have issues you want to talk about or communicate, be direct. Baby, you did this and you did that, and I'm not happy about it. And please, next time, if you want to talk to me, go this way, go that way, say A, say B, touch my ear, touch my nipple, touch my bum, and that is it. Be clear and be specific. Don't tell your partner that, can't you read me? Can't you read my gesture? Can't you read what I'm going through? Can't you read the situation? Or can't you read the room? No. Don't put extra work on your partner. The relationship the two of you are having is to work on its own. Don't put extra work on your partner to do.
Exactly.
Yes. So that about it too. And then boundaries. If you have any boundaries with your partner, you want to let the person know. Avoid assumptions and go straight forward to whatever you want to say. Don't assume that, okay, your partner know that today is Tuesday, I'll come home 4:45 p.m. So I'll not tell her. And she knows that if I don't come home at 4:45, then it means something has happened in town. So she'll figure it out, or he'll figure it out.
The magician.
Exactly. Don't assume that your partner knows this, or your partner knows that, or your partner does not know this or that. Tell the person. Be clear and straightforward with the person. Honey, today I don't feel for sex, so can we do it tomorrow? Don't be there and your partner touch you and you'll be pulling away from your partner. It will send different signals. Wrong things to your partner. You know, though that might not be the case, but you are just not in the mood or something. That is it about the aspect too. And then the timing, you mentioned it, and other people also mentioned it. The timing is very, very important. You know your partner just lost a bet. Your partner put in 2,000 and he lost the bet. That is not the time you tell him, baby, get 2,000 to go and fix my nails. No, you the things that you hear in your ears, you will not like it.
Exactly. Because that's the wrong time.
Exactly, that's the wrong time. For instance, if you tell me that, oh baby, there's this particular time that our fathers taught us, or our mothers taught us, that if you want to talk to your husband or your partner, wake him up at dawn. That's when they will listen. Me, if you wake me at dawn for conversation, I will deal with you. I will scream. I will shout at you. I will shout at you. No,
that thing is crazy. That thing is crazy.
I will go mad.
Why would you wait till dawn to have a discussion? It's not appropriate, honestly. It doesn't work in this current
generation. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work for me, or it will not work for me, but it might work for other people. I
doubt it.
What am I saying? Right, because we stay up late and then we go to bed very late, and then we come and wake me at dawn to talk,
to have a discussion.
Yes. So I would say that the timing is very, very important. The timing is very, very important. You know your partner very well than anybody else does. So you know that when you are eating your dinner, that is when he is all ears to listen to whatever you want to say. You know, don't go and then be telling her, baby, this morning you shouted at me. I didn't like it. At the point where he is needing sex, my guy, why? Why do you bring up something that he did in the morning at the point that he needs sex? He will not listen. It won't work.
Exactly.
So probably after sex, that's when men listen. Let me put it that way. The next one too is feedback. Constructive feedback is very, very important. Constructive feedback is very, very important. After your partner has expressed their grievances or his grievances to you, give a better feedback. If you are not careful, the kind of feedback you will give to whatever he or she says is going to escalate the whole situation and plunder the two of you into another chaotic environment that the two of you will not like. If you have
most of the time, sorry to cut you short, about this feedback of a thing, most of the time, once you pass a message across to your spouse, sometimes the person just listens to you. But for you to have an assurance that your message has really been heard, you need to have that feedback so that both of you are on the same page.
Exactly. And make sure the feedback you are giving or you're about to give has the characteristics of what? Deflating anger and deflating whatever doubt and whatever problem that came up in the first place. You don't give feedback that's going to escalate the matter. That is it about feedbacking too. And then also the respect of language, the use of respectful language. Let me put it like that. What kind of language are you using?
Yeah. So sorry about this particular thing you made mention of. It's really a problem because
the language one.
Yeah, the language.
Yes.
You know, as if you have a babe or you have a guy, you guys tend to play some kind of. You have some jokes that you guys normally play around each other, but sometimes those jokes don't fall like. It don't go down well with some of them, but some keep it within themselves, which is why we are talking about this aspect of communication. If your spouse uses a word out of your own jokingness or whatever, the person says it and it's not okay with you, I feel you shouldn't allow it elapse that day. You must make it known to the person that, babe, guy, I don't like that, because there are some relationships I see them. Even though you guys are cool, you are in a relationship. I personally don't find it okay for your guy or you're a babe and you're calling your guy a fool. Oh, kwasia. And then you understand all those kind of things. So it's actually because sometimes I'm speaking from the guy's point here, because most women are the ones that fall, are the ones that make this kind of mistake, because once you start doing it behind closed doors, you're calling your guy a fool, get sense, blah 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 blah. Before you know it, once you guys go out to the public, you won't know the time it escapes your mouth, and you just call your guy a fool in the presence of other people, and that's the wrong place that you're supposed to use such a thing.
Right.
So you need to actually create those. You need to set those boundaries. That okay, there are some words that we are not supposed to use at all. It's better you don't use them even behind closed doors.
Right.
Because if you use them behind closed doors, definitely there's tendency that when you guys get out there, unknowingly, you might say it. And that is when you will start having issues. You guys will get back home and start arguing, start fighting and whatnot. I just wanted to chip it in though. So go ahead.
Right. Right. So me too. I have a converse response to what you just mentioned. That with the use of such foul languages and all that to each other in a relationship, I would say that it is not outrightly wrong to use such languages. But what is the major problem here is the boundary. All right, is the boundary. I know some people that uses with the husband and then the wife or the partners, they use this hey, tell you fool, like among themselves. They play with it and it stays there. They don't take it outside. They are conscious of themselves. So like you said, if you know you can't control it beyond your room or beyond your confines, then don't use it at all.
Exactly.
So you go outside and go and use it for people to see that, oh, Charlie, this guy is uncultured, and all that. If you cannot control it, don't use it at all. But if you can, and that is your love language, and that is your playful language and all that, then you can use it.
Exactly.
Right.
It needs to be defined. You need to define it.
Yes, exactly. So the last but one thing that I'll talk about is non-verbal cues. There are I know I said that there are certain things you need to come clear about, say what you have to say, explain what you are feeling and all that. But there are some times too that you can choose non-verbal cues to give communication to your partner. And it works. Example, body language. And I think is it Uche or
Royal White?
Royal White mentioned it. Body language. For example, you are at a party. And your partner is caught off guard doing things that is going beyond board. What will you do to communicate with your partner? Probably there are people around you and there's a distance, so you cannot talk to your partner to let the partner know that what he is doing or she is doing is going off board, or there's something wrong with the dress, or there's something going on that you need to communicate to your partner. What will you do? That is where the non-verbal communication comes in.
Yeah.
You see, so probably a wink of the eye will let your partner know that Charlie, something is going on wrong, or you need to leave or something. There is this unscripted non-verbal communication that men do that I love so much. For example, when you are going to somewhere and you meet your fellow guy on the road, you just lift your head and the other guy also lifts their head. We've communicated.
Yeah,
me,
cool.
Charlie, what's up?
Yeah,
my
what's
guy,
up?
how far?
Yeah.
You lift your head, you also lift your head, then you mean so Charlie, how far? You greeted and then you are moving on. Or you go to the eatery or a choba. Over here in Ghana, we call it choba. I don't know how you call it over there. Where food is sold and eaten over there. We call it choba or restaurant. Normally, they have a bench over there, and we have about 2 or 3 people sitting on the bench and eating. And when you're about to get up and go, and the other partner or the other guy is sitting on the edge of the bench, what do? You tap on the bench twice or 3 times.
Yeah.
For the other person to know that you are getting up, so that when you get up, the person will not fall. Or the person will not fall. So those are some of the things that we say non-verbally for partners to know that this is what you're talking about, or you are saying this or you are saying that. So to wrap it up, I know I've spoken at length. So to wrap it up, I will talk from a man's perspective regarding communication. we want specificities. Be specific as to what you want. Don't whine. Don't whine.
It's about
Exactly. Don't beat about the bush. Go straight. Check the timing. Communicate your need and not your wants. You need A and B and C. The guy will interpret that, okay, all this that you are requesting, this is what you need. The rest can come later. So communicate your need, check the timing, be clear with whatever you are saying, and then be specific with whatever you are saying. So Richie, I will leave the platform for somebody else to contribute. And if you have any other questions I want to ask, you can put it across. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Nana. Thank you for those very insightful points that you just mentioned. So I would just love to just chip in some few things to help people that might be wondering, okay, how will I be able to inculcate that healthy relationship, healthy communication in my relationship? So yes, some few points you can. The first one is regular check-ins. Like for instance, because you guys won't be together for most of the time. You guys have definitely what you do, your different works and different endeavors. So if you're at work, just send a message across or give a call within your time that, babe, how you doing? Guy, how you doing? Just make that person feel that, yeah. So if based on that checking alone, the person might remember something that, okay, he or she wants to discuss it. You will be like, okay, babe, when we get home or when next we see this and this, we will talk about this thing. We have something that we'll talk about. So that way, there's an open communication. There's a ground that is ready to receive the communication that either of you has. The second one that you guys can partake into is setting aside dedicated time for talks. Because if you are always having in your mind, you're always planning in your mind. That's why even when it comes to life, you have some certain goals that you want to achieve. They always encourage you to write those goals down. Write what you want to achieve, what you want to do. Let it be written somewhere. I remember back when I was in school, I was told by one of my teachers that you need to write those things down. Even paste them in your room. Let those things be looking at you and you be looking at those things. So as you are looking at those things, before you know it, you will actually work towards achieving those things that you've written down to achieve. But if it's in your brain, it's in your mind, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this in your mind, bet me you will never ever actually work towards achieving it. So the same thing applies to communication. You guys need to be able to map out a set time that you guys are going to have a discussion. You should have a time that, okay, this is discussion time. You guys will just sit down one-on-one and just talk about some things, some pertinent issues that you need to discuss. Then the last but not the least is using written communication. In this current dispensation where we have WhatsApp, people no longer even use text messages any longer. More people make use of WhatsApp and the rest. Send out messages through WhatsApp. There are some things that you can't actually say with your mouth verbally. If you're having that difficulty, pass it through text. We do that sometimes unconsciously. You will see you and your babe, you are sitting down, you are all in the same you're all in the same place. For example, now you go to a restaurant or a place that you want to go and eat. She's seated at the other side of the table, you are on the other end of the table, and you find yourself actually testing each other while seated there. It's a form of communication, but I won't say that form of communication should be rather inculcated very much in your relationship, but it's a form of communication. So pass across written text that, okay, you won't be able to say it verbally. Pass it across in a written form, so the next person actually sees it, and that person can actually initiate the conversation. Since you can't actually initiate it, say it verbally, the person will initiate it, then you guys will be able to discuss about it. So before I have a question I would like to ask Nana, but before I do so, I don't know if anybody has something else to say. Tosin, I've not heard your voice since this evening. Do you have anything to add to our discussion, Tosin? let's hear from you before I ask Nana my question quickly. I hope you've not slept off and still online. Tosin, are you there? Counting to 5. If you're not ready, let me speak to Nana. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Actually listening, but I feel as
Sorry about that. Yeah. So, do you have anything to add? Do you have anything to say about the whole communication in relationship? Any experience?
well, a lot of people have spoken. Communication is actually key in relationship because without communication, you can't really understand each other and what exactly you're doing in the relationship. So I feel it's key. For any other comments for another day, I really can't talk right now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for joining. Yeah. So Nana, I just wanted to ask you something. I know communication is vast and we have several things that we need to. There's no little thing that should be communicated. But I feel there are some things that like in order of preference, they come stops. So I feel in your own way or in your own opinion, what are some of the things that you feel are top of the list when it comes to discussing with your spouse?
Richie, thank you. As you said, there is nothing left to discuss with your spouse. As far as it bothers you, communicate to your partner. As far as it bothers you, or as far as it threatens the existence of the relationship, regardless how minute it is, communicate it. If you don't, it's going to pile up and pile up and pile up and pile up and create another thing that is going to structure a relationship when another person finds out later on. I, for one, let me put this across. I, for one, whatever that is bothering you, say it to me. If it is going to hurt me, which I know it will, go ahead and say it to me. Leave it for me to process it. Let me know than to keep it away from me and later on tell me that I didn't tell you because I know it is going to hurt you. I know you are not going to like it or not. I'll get mad at you, extremely mad at you. I prefer you tell me whatever it is. Tell me if it's going to hurt me. Let me deal with it than for you to keep it away from me.
Right.
Yeah, so regardless of how little it is, tell me. So if you ask me, Richie, there's nothing like minute or there's nothing like priority inside of right here. But timing is key for me. I'm putting myself in right here. Timing is key for me. But regardless, tell me anything. One thing that my partner really commends me for the most that I am ever ready to listen. She will come from work and then we will sit down and then like 2 hours she will be the one talking. She will narrate every single thing that occurred at the office. Maybe this thing happened and this guy came. Can you imagine one supervisor came and she tells me every single thing. So anytime she's coming to the house, she's happy and I'm happy because I get to listen to everything that occurred at the office. I actually know most of the people that she works with, even though I've not really come across them personally.
Yeah.
I know there's one manager that likes women a lot, and I know there's one that sleeps at 12 p.m. all the time, and I know there's one over there that does not know how to dress at all.
Exactly.
I know almost 70% of people that she works with. That's how close we are, how she tells me every little thing that she comes across.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nana. Thank you everyone for joining into today's session. I really appreciate you guys, and I believe we've all learned something really, really valuable. And remember, communication is the lifeline of any relationship. So it's not just about talking, it's about truly understanding and being understood. So, guys, join me on the next session, same place, the Telegram channel. I love you guys so much. You guys are really, really coming through for me. And I believe we are going to be growing this community together. If you are yet to be on our WhatsApp group, please endeavor to join in the group. Share the link with your friends, with your family. Tell them about what we're doing here. We are building a community of like-minded youths that we are going to be discussing so many things that will help us become better youths and become better individuals. Once again, my name is Richard. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas in advance, and please endeavor to stay safe. Have a good night.